G'day, Ben from Melbourne here. Going to tackle a couple of threads today. One will be for 12 inches, which I have no idea who started this, so sorry. If anyone can tell me, I'll stick their links to their channel below, but got me stuffed who started it. Anyway, and the other one is going to be for the great MGK Boston, and he had a thread about spell a sport because he seemed to be very excited about that non-kicking sport called football over there that the rest of us call gridiron. You know, the one with the helmets and the pads and the stuff so they don't get hurt. All right, let's start with the 12 inches. Going to start with the great band Gold Class with their 12-inch single, A Twist in the Dark. Cracking track if you like those dark new wave Joy Division sounds. You'd be sure to love this one. Haven't done anything for a few years. I assume that they've called it a day. Next one, the legendary Roland S. Howard and Lydia Lunch doing their version of the great song Some Velvet Morning. I do like this version, but you can't go past Nancy and Lee. Next up, maybe a little bit of a surprise because we're getting into the indie pop territory, and this is the Temper Trap with their 12-inch single Sweet Disposition. It's hard not to like this track. It's quite catchy, gets in your head. Lovely falsetto vocals, as you just heard. Yeah, great track, but never really dug anything they did after this. Next, let's look to the Neighbours for a 12-inch, and of course the Sneaky Feelings with Better Than Before. If you love all that flying nun sound, this will do it for you. And lastly, the great Melbourne band New War with their amazing track Ghost Walking. It's got a ton of space, cool groove. It's just keyboards, bass and drums and vocals. I guess with the Ghost Walking thing, I can also jump on the bandwagon of that little thing in October that you Yanks call Halloween. So there you go. It's actually a 3-for-1 deal with the threads. Great. If you don't know this, I've showed a couple of albums by this band before. Killer stuff. Right, now on to MGK Boston's Spell a Sport. I'm going to spell two sports, one with 7 inches, and the first one's going to be that wonderful game that Australia dominates England in called The Ashes. By the way, my heart goes out to my lovely UK friends who will probably contest that that's not the way to win the Ashes because we didn't really win it outright. We just retained it. But who cares? We fucking won it. All right, gonna spell cricket. First of all, with the great Cloud Control 7-inch Gold Canary, cool indie pop stuff. Bit of garagey, spooky, almost goth garage, I suppose, with Ruined Fortune. Il Globo, some awesome hardcore punk sounds. The Mighty Civic, who we love on this channel. Some more hardcore punk from the Kremlings. This will friggin' sort you out. Eastlink, post-punk, post-everything, drive it into your skull, repetition, awesomeness. And for tea, Terry with 8 Girls. Great Melbourne band. Just released a new record this year. So that spells cricket. So C R I C K E T. Oh, something popped out there. We'll pick that up later on. Right, one more sport, and we're going to spell football. Australian rules football, but we call it footy. So, the mighty Foves from Mornington Peninsula, one of the most underrated Australian bands of all time. Saw them recently, they were friggin' awesome. They played 2 of their classic 90s albums back to back. This is Drive Through Heart Attack, the latest one, double album. Fantastic band, great hooks, just interesting, sarcastic lyrics, funny, clever, and taking the piss out of this country because God knows it needs it. So that's F for Foves. Now for O, Orb, the Sab worshippers. On the Flightless label, this is their debut album called Birth. Cracking shit. Another O for the Onyas, if you love your garage rock. Just straight up punk rock. If you like Cosmic Psychos and that shit, you'll love this. He ended up in the Psychos. Opposite end of the spectrum, some cardigan wearing, get in touch with your feelings, indie rock with the mighty Twerps. You may know Martin Frawley, who's gone solo. That dude released a couple of decent records, but I'm more a fan of the Twerps. And to round it out with Y, who else but Young, that's right, Mikey Young, with his, I was going to say his second self-titled album called Curtains. Might be his third. Fucking ugly cover. Anyway, once again, just so you know that I can spell, F for Foves, O for Orb, O for Onyas, T for Twerps, and Y for Young, as in Mikey Young, and that spells footy. Check out MGK Boston and whoever the person was that started the 12-inch thread. Check you in the next one. Bye-bye.